We are live, and I heard someone say hello. Was that Chase? That's Chase? Okay. Nikki, you can unmute yourself. It's okay.
Here. Okay. I've got Chase on the phone. Let's see. Chase, say hi to everyone. Let's see if they can hear you.
Hello, I'm here.
Hey, Chase. Chase, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good.
Good, good. So, to those who are going to be watching this, we had some slight difficulties bringing one of our wonderful and amazing guests on, and so we're trying to get that knocked out. So please be patient with us. Will Chase, will you be joining us within StreamYard? Would that be possible?
I mean, I have it up, but it's not really doing it. It won't let me unmute. I don't know what it's looking like on your end. My data is pretty weak here. I'm
Pretty
in a
weak.
really tough spot here. I thought my phone might be the only thing working.
Okay, you know what? You know what? I hear you very, very well. So, Nikki, if it's okay with you, I was going to call you a ventriloquist. We could actually have, we can
I'll
have
just mouth
Chase.
the words he's saying. It's fine.
Because yeah, we hear him really good. So let's just roll with it
Okay.
and make this happen. So I have a quick announcement though for those who will be joining us, and I'll actually add this link to the chat. We have another Money Beat Challenge, which they are absolutely fantastic for your business to scale. The next Money Beat Challenge will be July 1st and the 2nd. I believe that's a Monday and a Tuesday. That's going to be from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Okay. And we highly recommend you jump into that. If you missed the first Money Beat Challenge and you believe you can't make it to the second one, go ahead and click the link that I'm going to put into the chat eventually. That will give you access to the notes. I believe day one of the previous Money Beat Challenge was 33 pages of notes, and it's fantastic. Ways in which you can have the best leads, ways in which you can scale your business, ways in which you can have the right LOC and all that. Pace goes, he's very thorough about this. And so I'm going to have a link in the chat and you can have all that information. But again, the next Money Beat Challenge is July 1st and the 2nd, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And that will be in the chat. And my man Jason Bates, our wonderful host, is here to have a wonderful interview with Miss Nikki. Nikki, how you doing? You're not nervous, are you, Nikki?
I'm not. I'm not. I don't get nervous.
No?
I'm excited to be here.
Good, good. It's a pleasure to meet you, Nikki, for the first time. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So
Excited to
I'm
meet
gonna,
both of you.
yes, I'm gonna jump into the back and let you guys do your thing with Chase in hand.
Yeah. He's joining us here.
That's awesome. We can definitely do that. Awesome. So welcome everybody joining us. And this team is so powerful. We were backstage with technical difficulties. We figured out a way to work it out because we see that adding value to this community is bigger than any technical issue we can have. So I love that. So before we get started, a little bit about myself, Jason Bates. I am a SubTo and Gator student, as well as a top-tier certified TC. I am the co-founder and CEO of Venture Vibes Funds, where we raise private capital for buying RV parks and other kind of vacation type properties. And I'm also co-owner of Finish Line TC Services. But you guys didn't join me for all that. You guys joined me to talk to Nikki and the rest of the group about some amazing things they're doing within the SubTo community. So first of all, I want to ask you guys both, just give us a little bit background about yourselves and what were you doing before you guys entered real estate and joined SubTo?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start with that. So I am a designer by trade. I work on primarily doing short-term, mid-term rentals, design, setup, management, and then new construction and fix and flips. Before real estate, I owned a cleaning company. I've been an entrepreneur for about the last going on 10 years now. And just really have loved the community and the growth that I've been able to see within this group. So I'm happy to be here. Chase, you want to go ahead and talk about you?
Okay, yeah. So I just started building a real estate portfolio, trying to focus on short-term rentals, and Nikki was very helpful with that. SubTo allowed me to start doing that because I, couldn't just do it traditionally because I'd run out of money. So that was very helpful. I've also started moving into the RV park and mobile home park space. So I'd love to talk more about that, but that's a totally separate topic. It's good to hear that you're in that, Jason.
Yeah. I just went under contract with my first RV park with my business partner, and it closes mid-July. So we're pretty excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So yeah, I'd love to talk to you more about that, Chase, when we get an opportunity.
For sure. All right.
Cool. And the questions I asked are kind of both of you. I'm always going to let ladies go first because that's the way my mom raised me, and she would find out if I didn't. So,
Yeah, don't let mama know.
yeah. So, Nikki, this question is for both of you, but I want you to answer it first. So, what made you decide to join the SubTo community?
This is fun. I had actually worked with SubTo students for a while before joining. It was a really cool way that I got into SubTo, actually. I had been helping a couple SubTo students find arbitrage properties and, within the short-term, midterm space, helping them get those set up and designed, and just really started learning a little bit about, the style of purchasing and just creative finance as a whole. And then Pace's energy is obviously just contagious. So, that was definitely a drawing factor. And I had so many friends within the community. But I actually ended up joining through my friend Jada, who we partnered up and have a LLC together and started working some deals together. And so I was able to join in with her as her partner. So we are consistently looking at new ways to grow together. And then I've built out a number of other partnerships within the community as well.
Is that Jada out of Houston?
Well, she's actually from California, Jada Tholey. But yeah, she's working in Houston with a group of people there. So
nice. That's incredible.
Yeah.
What about you, Chase? What made you decide? And your wife is with you too, Chase. You guys do this together, right?
So, yeah, I brought my wife in once I understood the model, and she's a real estate agent in Dallas, and she's just really good at what she does. Like basically, we've done fixing flips before, and we worked with investors, and she's really good at bailing people out of problems. So she already kind of had a creative mindset, and now with this knowledge, she's become even more powerful and helpful to people, and just constantly troubleshooting all these things that other agents wouldn't be able to handle. And then at the same time, it just really helped us try to figure out, all right, how do we want to invest more efficiently with a better way that's way more scalable. It's all about being able to scale and more because you don't run out of money with the creative options. So that's pretty much our main focus.
Yeah, and that's huge. I'm seeing a lot of real estate agents excelling right now because of their ability to think outside the box and come with some more creative solutions. And they're just crushing it. So I'm glad to hear that you and your wife have been able to take advantage of that space.
Don't let him undersell her either. Tiffaney is wonderful. She's been a rock for me, as throughout the process, and then just a really great asset for me to refer to people because I've been networking. Like that's what I've spent most of the last year on, is just really getting to know people within the community. And she's been a really great asset to be able to provide to people within the community too.
Yeah, I've noticed ever since joining this community, my phone has been like my best asset because I've collected so many members.
Yeah.
Relationships. So yeah, that's a really good point. And
yeah.
For those of you guys watching, I hope you take that away because I've done a lot of things in life, taking courses and different masterminds and read books. But the most successful things I've been a part of were things that had community and had people that would literally have your back. That would literally say, "Hey, how can I help before you finish your sentence?"
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I see.
Absolutely, the relationships within this community are crazy. I mean, I've not met anything else that can compare to that. So
nice,
for sure.
So how did you guys find this deal?
You want to talk about that?
How did we find this deal?
Yes.
Okay, so I was just networking with SubTo people, trying to basically let the wholesalers who would go straight to the owners themselves and direct to seller, and they would just find these creative deals. And I was just focusing, rather than doing that and wholesaling myself, I was just trying to let them do the work, get paid for it, and they would bring deals to me, and I would just go through them and underwrite them until I found something good. And it was hard to find ones that were really good for short-term rentals, but Nikki had already informed me that this area, which is Spring, Texas, already had some good potential that wasn't obvious based on the tools I used. So I was already looking in that area, and one popped up. It ended up coming from Kevin Cho's team, and I jumped on it and I ran it by her. She said, "Yep, looks good." So boom, we tried to close fast and get it going. And so it was all through the community again, which without SubTo community, none of this is really possible. I wouldn't have found Nikki, and I wouldn't have had access to these deals and known even what to do with it. So that's pretty much how it started. It ended up being a foreclosure. So very unique situation. There's always hiccups along the way, but it ended up closing, and so far it's been a great purchase with a good cash flow.
So you guys bought this, you guys put it in your short-term rental portfolio, is that right?
Yeah.
And then,
So
go ahead.
he purchased it. You purchased it SubTo, Chase?
It was SubTo, yes. Just a normal SubTo deal. The mortgage was, I think, 3.75% interest.
Yep.
That's a steal.
Yep. And so we got into that, and then the concept was to do a hybrid exit strategy with a short-term, mid-term play. That's something that I specialize in, is especially here in Texas. I've just built out some really unique relationships with adjusters and things of that nature. So I have collected, they send me all of the zip codes that they get requests in. And so I have like a collective sheet that tells me what areas are getting booked the most and getting the most requests in. And then I target spaces based off of that.
Nice.
That have the short-term and mid-term capabilities so that we can maximize occupancy.
And I want to pull on a thread that you guys briefly discussed that I think everybody should understand. This house was in foreclosure, so you saved somebody from being completely foreclosed on, and now you're helping them rebuild their credit every time you make a payment.
There's actually a little bit more to that story. So not only was it in foreclosure, but they were going through a divorce. So this was a very messy situation for them. And yeah, I mean, we were able to get them, taken care of. And we never even spoke to the seller. You never spoke to the seller, right, Chase?
I still cannot even get a hold of the seller. But
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that protect us, and we got everything handled with durable power of attorneys so that we can take care of all the SubTo details we need to.
Yeah. So we were, not only just able to get them out of, this foreclosure situation, keep that off their credit, but help them in a time that they were going through things, and do it all without ever even speaking to them, because obviously like they had a lot going on as well. That's just the power of this community. So.
Well, and attest to the fact too, I tell people all the time, people think we're in the real estate business, but we're actually in the relationship business. I mean,
100%.
You guys built a relationship, and you might not be able to build, a connection because, you couldn't get a hold of them, they're going through stuff. But you build a relationship where you guys came in and solved the problem. Because I don't know if anybody knows how bad foreclosure is, but once you've been foreclosed on, you can even qualify to get into an apartment. So it really does, wreak havoc on your life. And so, sometimes we get in a situation that we just need help getting out of, and you guys literally just stepped in and helped them even when they didn't realize how much help they needed. So that's huge.
Absolutely. It's been very beneficial to us too. There's a lot of opportunity for exit strategies within, buying creatively. And I think they're just continuing to grow. We're just finding more ways to get creative. And this one is definitely a passion of mine, just because I love creating the experiences for people.
Yeah.
I love helping, being able to help Chase and Tiffany to grow their portfolio in a way that they wouldn't have otherwise been able to do it. They've had a property here in the Dallas area. How long have you had your short-term rental, Chase?
So we started 10 years ago, 2014.
Yeah. So they've been running short-term rental for forever. But that's a niche. The midterm rental is a niche that I've been able to get in and build those relationships. And you're totally right. We are definitely in a relationship business. And not only just from how we're exiting, but from how we're buying, from how we're, leveraging the knowledge within this community, and, growing both personally and professionally across the board. It's been really cool.
Yeah, and I like how you said experiences, right? That's probably number one reason why I like RV parks is you create an experience. In fact, we don't even call them tenants, we call them guests, because they're not tenants at the park, they're guests at the park. And we're continuing to provide experiences. So that's really good. So for any of you guys out there, wanting to get into mid and short-term rentals, remember, it's more than just renting a house. It's providing
100%.
because and that's how you build that business, because they go home and talk to friends and say, oh my God, you're not going to believe this amazing experience I had in Texas. I cannot wait to go back. And if you're ever there, you guys should go check this out.
100%. And that's anywhere. I mean, we have properties in other locations too. We've got a short-term, midterm in Augusta that I help manage for Chase and Tiffaney as well. That one took a little bit, and it's not always roses and sunshine on these journeys, but so that one took a little bit longer to get going. But it's anywhere. I mean, just, that's one of the things that I love about this is being able to take from the communities and the areas that you're doing these setups in and providing these opportunities to house people, and taking, inspiration from those areas and creating an experience within them.
Yeah, that's perfect. I love that. And you guys did mention you guys use SubTo students to help you guys with this deal. Did you guys use anybody else in the community? Any Gators, any top tier TCs, anything like that?
Chase?
There was no Gator involved here. I mean, I used my own funds for the first 2 deals because I was trying to get the ball rolling. I was told that most private money lenders, don't necessarily jump in on these short-term rentals at the front. You kind of need to prove it and, I guess a model, but also many times they may come in after it's already been cash flowing. So it's already proven itself to be a safe investment. Then you can bring them in, and then whatever the loan is, you can take that and use that on the next deal. So that's kind of the plan. And anyway, like, it's not really a Gator style thing. It's more, it would be more like a private money
BML
second position.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's like a little bit longer than the Gator. It's definitely not transactional. So that wasn't really part of this one. So yeah, that's kind of the vision.
We did use so it did pass through some unique hands, because when we talked with Kevin on the podcast, which y'all will be able to watch later, he got it from someone else that was in SubTo that had brought it to him. And then, we worked with Lorraine. So it went through multiple hands within SubTo before it ever got to us. And then, of course, got to Chase. Chase was the one that purchased it. And then he reached out to me also in the SubTo community. I'm partnering with him to help manage, setup, design, all of that stuff. So I'm ongoing management, but helped with, validation and then just the ongoing needs of the property.
Right. And for those of you guys that don't know, there's a lot of moving parts in a foreclosure transaction and a SubTo transaction. Now you put them together. Did you guys use a TC at all, or did you guys have enough experience to take it to the end?
There's definitely a TC. All these need a good TC because these are very complicated things. They need to go right. I guess whoever Lorraine and Kevin's team that they were handling it, they had a TC arranged, and that was just part of it. So yes, but it wasn't like necessarily like a SubTo TC or anything like that.
Could have been.
Whoever they had arranged. Yeah, I get the feeling it wasn't, but yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of the top tier certified TCs that are well versed in not only SubTo, but they understand foreclosures and that whole process. So as long as you had a TC involved, that was less of a headache for you guys. They did the stuff behind the scenes, took care of they did a lot of that heavy lifting for you. So I just wanted everybody on the call to realize that is part of the community too, right? There's so many moving parts, and getting as many people involved to make it smooth is really impactful. Okay. So with that said, this is one of my favorite questions. So tell us how SubTo has impacted your life.
Oh my gosh. I don't think you have time for that. I have been so impacted by this. Obviously, like I've been in the space. I've been, I've had my own businesses. I've been doing my own thing for a while. But the opportunities that have come just from being a part of this community are endless. I mean, I could not count them. Financially, it has changed my life. It's provided me with opportunities that have financially bettered my life. As a single mom, that was a big thing for me. So, that's been really, really great. And just the knowledge, I feel like I've grown so much in the last year that I've been a part of this community. I don't think that it would have taken decades to do otherwise.
Nice. I like that. What about you, Chase?
I would say I'm mostly impacted by the value of the community. That seems obvious. Without everyone else, just none of this stuff is possible. Also, change your mindset on how you can use real estate for your long-term goals. But also, side note, as I'm building real estate, I still need to earn income to pay the bills. So there's also other options in SubTo that's really helped me, show me the way on how to, I guess, maybe earn income without buying businesses. Zero Down is very helpful, part of the community. So that's, the other thing I'm targeting. And then obviously I would have never even thought to look into mobile home parks and RV parks, but it's a very unique model that has a lot of potential for either some actual income, because you could they're sort of like really big fix and flip projects, like almost like a multi-family deal without, all the craziness of syndication. But all these types of opportunities, like I would have never even known or understood without SubTo.
Yeah, that's awesome. I tell people all the time, meeting Pace and Molly in this community, it really changed the trajectory of my life, because it just put me in a direction I didn't know was possible. And so for me, it's been pretty powerful as well.
The mindset shift that Chase was talking about is wild.
Yeah.
This is completely off topic, I think, but I used to feel like when I first joined, I was reaching out, like I was in need of, I definitely had some needs that needed to be met. And I was approaching things with a, how can people help me mentality, and being around everybody in this community and just like surrounding yourself within that culture has changed my view completely. And now every single time I talk to someone, it's how can I help you? The dynamics have completely shifted, and that has been more impactful to me and more positive to me, and brought me more than I ever did the other way around. So like the mindset shift here is wild.
Yeah, and Rob Joseph is right. It is the power of positive mindset, but it's really contagious too, right? So once you start hanging around with people that have that level of energy that you're looking for, it's contagious and it builds momentum. So, and we know that to be true, because when we hang around negative people, we always feel down and defeated. And so the opposite has to be true. And so, yes, Anna, I agree. It is amazing. So,
yeah, it's super good.
Yeah. So.
I really love it.
So let me ask you first, Nikki, what are you going to do next? What's next on the horizon for you?
Super exciting things. So I actually, like I said, I've been building out more and more relationships within the community. I have a couple really cool partnerships coming up. One with Shane Langford, and then also with Seth Termaine and Jess Brill. We are working on some fix and flip and new construction deals that we are purchasing land. Just continuing to build out relationships for various things. We are looking for private money lenders. I know Chase and I are looking for more lenders to partner with on, more short-term, mid-term properties. Continuing to grow in that way, and then just, continuing to grow personally and professionally. So.
Nice. So now that you put that out there and there are people listening, are you looking for lenders to be equity partners or just lenders to borrow short term?
I would say so. For it depends on the deal. Okay. For some of our fix and flip projects and things of that nature, we're looking for obviously Gator lenders for EMT. We're looking for hard money lenders, private money lenders. We would prefer to have private money lenders that would come in and do repetitive business with us. Yeah. So basically just lending on something and then rolling that into the next one and just building that and building that and building that. With the short-term, mid-term stuff, there's definitely opportunity for some partnerships. It just depends on the deal and how it underwrites. Or again, same thing. We can just, build those relationships, start with something smaller, and then just keep rolling it back into other things. It's a great way to offset taxes and, just keep the ball rolling, keep building up that profitability. So
nice. You guys all heard it here. So
yeah.
Reach out to Nikki.
Call me.
Chase, what about you? What's on deck for you and your wife?
Well, I'd say just on to the next property. I mean, I really look into any else. I think short-term rentals are best, usually because I'm familiar with it. I see the edge, you can find it good. It's just hard to find those. I'm also looking at doing like Section 8 type things. Sometimes you can get more rent in certain areas, but pad split's an option. I just look at every deal with possible exits. If it's a break-even deal, I'm happy with it. And then, so that means to get the next deal, I'm going to need a private money lender to either get in second position, which I prefer. However, if it's just not an option, if a deal looks great, I would be happy partnering with someone on the next deal if they want to bring the money rather than be the lender and be a partner. I'm open to that too. It's just my second choice. And in the meantime, I'm trying to buy a business in DFW area. I have a pretty good partner that I think would be great, and I'm looking at things like plumbing and HVAC and electrical stuff where you need the master license. It's my target niche, so that's kind of my next step. There.
It's very cool. Look, Nikki, you got Pam.
I know, I'm getting all kinds of love in the comments, and I'm just adoring it. Thanks, guys. I'm telling you, the power of this community.
And like I said, it's contagious. I mean, if you hang around this long enough, you got no choice but to be successful. So we have a question here. If you're a beginner, would you recommend SubTo or Gator or something else? What do you think, Nikki?
I think that really depends on what your ambitions and goals are. Those are two different things that, touch on two different goals. And, if you're looking to really get into the investing, SubTo is absolutely the way to go. You're going to kind of touch a little bit on everything. You're going to build a lot of networks and to be able to, learn a little bit about everything and have that guidance to go in whatever direction you choose. Gator is obviously a wonderful community. I'm not a part of it, so maybe you can touch on what Gator is going to provide to them.
And that's a great point. And the power of Gator is it allows you to build some capital. And sometimes people like to have a little bit of capital in their back pocket before they jump over to SubTo. Now, I will tell you, however, jumping into SubTo with no capital makes you incredibly powerful because when you have to structure a deal because you have no money, you have nothing but creativity.
Absolutely.
So like you said, both of them have great reasons to start, but then we can't tell you how to kickstart your business and how to run your business. So you might say, hey, I'd like to have some capital in my pocket just so I have the freedom to go do different things. Then Gator would be a great start. You might say, hey, I want to get into buying real estate and I want to buy a homes, I want to wholesale, but I learn how to do it creatively. I get into SubTo. You start doing that, and then you get capital in your pocket and you go, oh, great, I want to be a lender now. Then you jump over to the Gator community and go, look, I have money to lend now. I'd like to learn how to do this. So it's what came first.
It's very personal.
Yeah, what came first?
Everybody's journey is so unique.
Yeah, it's hard to say what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? But here's the thing. I've looked at a lot of dinosaur books when I was a kid, and in dinosaur books, there was no chickens. There was only eggs. So I just assumed the egg came first. So
I love that. That's so funny.
Great question. That's a good question, John.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Nikki, what would you say to anybody who's on the fence about joining this community?
Oh gosh, if you're on the fence about joining the community, obviously there's a part of you that wants to do it, and I cannot stress enough how much value this community has provided in my life. I've gone through a lot of things in my lifetime. I'm 36 years old. And I feel like I've lived probably 2 of those lifetimes. And the support, the friendships, the relationships, the knowledge, everything that I've gotten from this is worth $1 million or more. I mean, and it will just continue to grow. So I can't do it. That's all I've got for you. Do it.
Nice. What about you, Chase? What would you say to somebody who's on the fence?
Well, I come from a background of my whole life. Everyone's trying to scam me and get me. So I come from a life of skepticism. So I will say the best value is the community, and how that comes into play is that now when I do deals, if I'm inside the community, all of a sudden I'm not so worried about getting scammed. There's accountability, and it's just a different type of people in here. So all those worries are gone. Which every time I'm doing deals outside the community, I'm constantly worried. Are they trying to get me? I got to protect myself. I'm constantly worried. So that's huge. But also, this is the type of community where, if you're, if you want to try it out, they let you. I honestly didn't believe, because I was so skeptical, but they let me come in for a little while, pay a small fee. When I saw the reality of it, it was no brainer. I'm staying and paying for the whole thing, and I'm going to be in. So that's my take.
Yeah, and you make a good point, Chase. I think that's why Pace and Molly's course on safety and their course on ethics is really powerful, because you can take the knowledge from that, and then you can go outside the community and start doing deals knowing that, hey, I've got this checklist in my head of things that I'm going to make sure that happen, so I'm protected, so that if I am doing deals with people outside the community, I know that I'm covering my sins. So that's a great point.
There's definitely a different, part of the podcast that, we did with Kevin was talking about why I don't just expand my property management company as much as possible.
Mhm.
And it's because I don't do deals with other people. I'll pretty much only do deals within SubTo. So whether that's, managing properties for SubTo students, or doing design work, or buying real estate myself. Like I'm, obviously I work with wholesalers if I find a good deal, but the community is what provides that safety net.
Yep.
And it provides that accountability. Like Chase said, you have, that almost like a vetting system to prove like, hey, this person has integrity.
Mhm.
Rather than going outside and meeting Joe Schmo off the side of the street. You're within that network. It's super powerful.
100%. So Nikki, how can people get a hold of you?
Well, so they made me put my IG on here, guys. I don't really use that. You can find me on Facebook, really easy. My name's super unique. You can also reach out to me via email. It's going to be nikki@ecreativeinv.com.
Awesome. What about you, Chase? How can people get a hold of you?
I'm easily locatable within the SubTo community on Facebook. That's easy to Facebook message, but you can also text or call me.
Nice.
Or email. So keep it simple.
Yeah. Perfect. I know you guys are both looking for PML, and I know, Chase, you're looking for business assistant. Now you guys know.
Yep. And I can work with short-term, mid-term design stuff anywhere across the nation, as well as project or property management remotely. I've got teams across the country. So let me know.
Teams across the country.
Hey, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We had a person in the chat that asked the question, who can I talk to guide me to see what's the best fit for me? And of course, as you all mentioned, they can reach out to you guys, jump into the Facebook community. It is that robust. I know it does seem hard to believe you're talking to an absolute stranger, but they're going to embrace you like you're a family member,
Yep.
a long lost family member, if you will. So John fam, inside the chat, jump into the Facebook community. There's a link there, and they'll touch base with you. And you can also IG Mr. Jason Bates. He's full of a wealth of information. Okay, he could definitely help you as well. So I normally would close the stream off and then ask certain questions, but I'm gonna leave it up for now for a few seconds. Nikki, were you nervous?
No.
Okay, good. You seem so comfortable. Some people are very, very nervous. Like, true story, I know I seem calm and collective. I'm always nervous.
Yeah, I don't know. These things don't make me nervous. I don't mind being in front of a camera, and I love connecting with people. So, this is just another platform to be able to connect with more people and be able to help each other grow. So I'm all about it.
Awesome. And for those in the chat, if you want to be a guest on the show, like Nikki, and Chase as well, you can send an email over. I put it in the chat to Taya@pacemorby.com. send her an email. Let her know that you want to be on the show. You want to be interviewed by someone as wonderful and amazing as Jason. Please email us. Let us know. We want to get you on the show. We want to talk to you. That's what this is about. It's about the community, hearing from one another, understanding your wins and your losses. We really want to hear about that. Right? So that dog is hungry.
I need to hear what you had to say.
Yeah. No, but yeah, thank you guys so much today. Nikki, thank you so much for joining us. Chase, if you hear me, thank you so much, brother, for being a guest in the show. We hear you clearly, man.
I'm so glad we could make it work with him. Just
I know, right? That's the first time. This is the first time we've done this. Yeah, it was flawless.
I almost started FaceTiming halfway through so you guys could see his face and I could just like hold it up.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Well, more
I
importantly,
decided I didn't want my hand to get tired.
yeah. Well, more importantly, you guys' story needed to be heard, and so I'm glad we had the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, guys, for having us.
You're so very welcome. So for those in the chat, you've been instructed. We love you guys. You guys are amazing. And we will see you guys on Monday. Peace.
Bye, guys.